Welcome back to Kettlebells and Cocktails. I'm your host, John, with my bestie, Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm in a very good mood. I'm happy to see you tonight.
Are you? Are you excited? Because I probably won the contest on Talking Elite Fitness.
I'm so bummed that we don't know who won for this recording.
We
When do
know.
we find out?
We know who won.
We know. I don't
We
know.
know.
I think that a lot of people were giving me gym dog points. Just saying.
I think if we're doing it on a pair, we're a shoe-in. If we get to add
Oh,
our points together.
Totally.
And I won't even deny that I used the power of my page to try to gin up votes. So we'll see.
If you are a meme lord and you don't use the power of your page, are you even a meme lord?
I
Is
know,
the
like
real question.
what's the point if you don't use your power for evil purposes every once in a while? Like, what's the point?
Absolutely. I think
You know?
self-serving is the opposite of evil. Just
Yeah,
throwing that out there.
there you go.
And if you have
Well,
no idea what we're talking about, go listen to the episode of Talking Elite Fitness where John and I were on for podium picks of affiliate life. It was wicked fun.
I thought it was a lot of fun. I listened, but I rarely, and I mean rarely, listen
Nope.
to anything that we're on. And I mean, I have to listen back to the stuff that I have to edit,
Right.
but the stuff I don't have to edit much, I never listen to the whole thing ever.
Me either.
And to be honest, I rarely listen to the ones that I'm a guest on. And this one I went to work out in the basement, and it was, it's like an hour and 20 minutes long. And it's about how long I was planning to be down there. I'm like, well, I'll listen to it. And it was funny, like listening back to it, I was laughing. And what sucks to be me is I listen back and I listened to all the missed joke opportunities.
Of course. That's like how you critique yourself in that scenario.
Yes. But no, it was really good. It's just funny what you miss when you're actually on it, and then listening back to it, like, getting to, hear the commentary of all of you guys was the more fun part for me. Like, just, you don't always catch everything in the moment, I guess is the point.
Totally.
So it was fun. And, it was cool to be on a professional podcast for once. So that was good too.
No, those guys, like, they've got like camp. Well, first of all, they're in the same room. So that's a benefit.
There's that.
Yeah, we don't have that. But they've got like cameras that like switch depending on who's talking, and like a set and like notes.
Nikki, I was actually thinking this week though, it occurred to me, my daughter turned 20 yesterday.
Which, like, what?
I know,
can't just gloss over that.
Which is crazy. And the youngest comes home and, she's been accepted to some colleges and she's waiting on some others. And I'm like, oh, they're both going to be gone pretty soon. And the company I work for's main office is in Johnston, Rhode Island. And I'm like, I could just move there and Nikki and I could broadcast in person. Wouldn't that be fun?
I'm dead.
Wouldn't that be fun?
If you moved to Rhode Island, first of all, ain't nobody live here but us. Like, come on, like nobody lives in Rhode Island. If you moved here, I would lose my shit. First of all, you would be like permanent grandpa babysitter forever.
All right, hold on. Older brother babysitter. Let's
uncle babysitter.
Slow down on the grandpa.
Fine.
Jeez.
Uncle meme lord always.
I can live with that.
Okay. I would die. Do you think you would leave Ohio? I mean, if your girls aren't there, you make a good point. Like,
yeah, I don't know. Maybe, it's not that far by plane. I can figure it out.
Yeah.
It'd be
highly
fun.
Recommend. It honestly is a rad, like, I'm obviously from New England, so I'm biased, but it's an awesome place to live because it's like you have access to Boston and you have like city life, like in and around Providence, but you're not paying like Boston or New York prices. And don't get me wrong, it's not cheap, but it's not like it is over there. Plus, like, easy access to the ocean, which I love. There's like mountains that are easy to get to for hiking and stuff. I mean, for New England, it's just an awesome place to live, truly.
It's just not my time just yet, but you never know. Never say never. Never say never.
Interesting. Are any of the girls' colleges potentially like on the East Coast?
There's actually one up in New England that she looked at, but it's stupid expensive. And there's too many really good schools here in Ohio for her to, realistically want to go to this, stupid expensive school where she get the same education here or better for less money, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
All right.
Well, tonight's going to be fun. We're going to talk about gift ideas.
I know. I thought, we We did this last year and it was like a huge hit. And I'm glad we're doing it with a little bit of time because last year I think we released this like the day before Thanksgiving, and then like everyone had Black Friday sales, and that's when everyone
Right.
does all their Christmas shopping. So we thought we would hike it up a week and talk a little bit about do like a gift guide for CrossFitters or the people in the community or whatever you want to call it.
And we don't have a bunch of sale codes, and these are not ads. Like no one's
Nope.
reached out to us and said, like, I literally sat down this afternoon and put down a huge list of everything I use that I consider to be CrossFit or CrossFit adjacent. And there's a lot of CrossFit adjacent on my list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like things you
Same.
wouldn't take to a gym, but things that if you are a CrossFitter, you would really like, you know?
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. I think that's what's fun.
Yeah. And yeah, so I do have one code. I got a code from
Oh.
Innovate for shoes, but
Oh, and how funny, because Innovate shoes were on my list,
well,
but I'm not sponsored by them.
There you go. I have a code for you now, but we'll get to that. So let's just jump
Okay.
into our list. So
Okay.
give me a couple things on your list. Let's talk about it.
Okay. So the first thing that I would say is, and this is a little bit of a cop out, not everything is, but a little bit of a cop out because I mentioned this last year on my gift guide ideas, quote unquote, but her store has grown greatly. So it's a Instagram account called the Benchmark Collection, and she makes really beautiful, fine, high-end jewelry that is like fitness inspired. So it's not super like on the nose, like you're wearing a necklace that says like check out my snatch or whatever, or something, dumb like that.
I want that necklace.
You definitely do. But for Christmas last year, Matt got me this beautiful, like pure gold kettlebell, and it's got pave diamonds on the handle, and I wear it literally every single day. In fact, the only reason I'm not wearing it right now is because I did cleans at the gym. But it is stunning work, and she makes everything by hand, and she makes these really cute they're little, like they look like plates, like tiny little plates, and you can put numbers on them. And a lot of people get like the birth weight of their babies. So I would get like a little 5 and a little 8, like 5 pounds, 8 ounces. Anyway, she's super creative, and this stuff is super beautiful. So if you have a little bit of room in your budget, and you're into the finer things with a hint of CrossFit, that is what I would recommend. It's the Benchmark Collection on Instagram.
There you go. I like that. That's a good one. Let's see. My list is in a total random order, and certainly not going to be as elegant as a necklace that's custom made. I was actually talking to Dave Newman the other night from RX Smart Gear.
RX Smart Gear. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Dave's an OG, and he came on the other show with Ben and I, and he sent me this jump rope skills kit. I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, Dave, I'm working out my basement. I can't do double unders in the basement. Do you have a solution? And so he sends me this skills kit, and it's like $70. And it's 2 ropes. So it's handles with a rope with the knot on the end. So it feels like you're doing double unders, but there's no rope going overhead, which is for one really cool.
You're like that guy in the Open
who
pretended that he had a jump rope.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's got that. And then there's what's also cool is it comes with like this ball on a telescoping metal rod that's magnetic that you can stick to your rig, so you can bound and it'll hit the top of your head, so you're getting high enough, So so I just know like a lot of people struggle with double unders, and it actually has multiple things it comes with. It also comes with these little shakers, so you can get the sound of double unders. They're literally like little maracas.
No way.
But they feel like jump rope handles, and then I think the last thing it comes with are, I told him the whole kit looked like some sort of S&M kit, because it comes with like these handcuffs, and it keeps your elbows in, to your waist. So when you're practicing, you're getting used to being in position. So for everyone that really struggles with double unders and needs to practice, these are all really cool tools that you can do without beating your legs to death with some heavy rope,
I love it. I think that's so cool.
Yeah. Or if you're in a basement like I am, like I'm using it in place of it, and it feels just like I'm doing double unders, and it's just as hard. You're sitting there bounding for a long time, and your shoulders get tired and your wrists get tired. It's fun. So yep. RX Smart Gear. Good stuff. Also, not an ad. They just sent one to me, and I love it.
I know. Yeah. Nothing on this show
Yeah.
is an ad, which is silly of us. We absolutely should have sold ad space
We should have
for
sold all
this
of this.
episode. I know, right?
My whole list is literally stuff I use though. And that's one that
Yeah.
I've been using that probably twice a week, like for the last month and a half, like
Well,
just
now,
put it in workouts.
do you need to? Because you're pretty proficient at double unders. Is this just like you could always get better or what?
No. I've been working a lot. I haven't been able to get to cliffside. And so when I'm doing workouts in the basement and I need to do double unders, I'm using it in place of a double under rope because it doesn't go over your head. Like it's just two ropes, like they're
Oh,
not connected. So you've got to have an individual rope in each hand and they're just going in circles. So it feels like you're doing double unders, but there's nothing going over your head to hit the ceiling, which is very cool.
dang.
So
I love it.
yeah, it's great. All right, give me something. What's on your list?
All right. Next on my list is my favorite knee sleeves. And the reason why I want to say this out loud is because literally every time I post a video or a picture of me in the gym wearing them, I get about 1,000 questions where they're from. So my favorite knee sleeves are black sequined knee sleeves because of course they are, because they're
Of course
me.
they are.
And they're made by Tupood and they make the sequin belts. So like, obviously you need a matching set. And we already know that my gold sequin belt is like my favorite thing ever, but the knee sleeves are awesome. And I've been wearing them for a couple years. They last a really long time. Yeah, the sequins like fall out periodically like they do, but like, how could you not think that they would? Knee sleeves are one of those pieces of equipment that you just kind of really beat into the ground. But
real.
every single time I wear them out or post them, people ask. So if you're looking for a gift for the extra CrossFitter in your life, i.e. she is extra, check them out from Tupood. And they run big. So like I wear an extra small in my knee sleeves. So like size down.
Tupood makes good stuff.
They really do. And they last forever. I've had the same belts from them, like basically since the beginning of my CrossFit career. I really love their stuff.
Send them an invoice for that shout out.
I know, right? And also, and like, honestly, the reason why that's really important to me is because for some reason, I don't exactly know why, but ever since I've come back to working out from postpartum, my knees are killing me. It's so strange. Like, I know that everything like loosens up and all your joints get all whatever when you're pregnant, but like, I would expect like my hips to hurt or my back to hurt, but no, my knees are killing me. So now I just wear them for air squats. I just like wear them for wall balls. I absolutely need to have them on, but they work. My knees don't hurt.
So if you want to look basic like Nikki, go get the Tupood. So there are
Tupood. They're called Black Magic knee sleeves. And I think the updated word is chuggy.
Chuggy?
Yeah. I think the updated word for basic is chuggy.
I'm gonna confirm that with my 18-year-old, make sure that's a real word.
Please do.
They'll tell me. They'll know. So, all right, so
you go.
I'm going to give you 3. Like these are all like if you have a garage gym or a basement gym or you want some stuff around the house, I'm going to give you 3 less expensive but just as good options that you could have bought at Rogue, but you should be buying somewhere else. So if you need dumbbells, if you want Hex Dumbbells, the rubber coated Hex Dumbbells, Amazon Basics, they're great.
Yeah. Are they in stock these days?
Yes, they are in stock.
Right.
I have, and I'm gonna give personal testimony on all this stuff. I have a pair of 35s and a pair of 50s, and they get a ton of use, and they've been dropped overhead, which you're not supposed to do, dozens of times, and they work great, and they feel exactly like the Rogue ones we have up at Cliffside. Literally no difference, and they're cheaper.
Okay.
The other one, Kettlebells from Best Buy. You can't make this up.
No.
Yep. True Grit. I think I'm almost positive Best Buy bought out these kettlebells from Again Faster. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, because Again Faster was sold years ago to a I don't know, overseas company or something.
They're great. They're about $10 to $15 less than Rogue. They're exactly the same. I bought their 70-pound kettlebell. This thing is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
From Best Buy.
Best Buy. And you can usually get free delivery, and it'll probably hit some sort of Black Friday sale if you wait it out. So keep an eye on the Best Buy kettlebells. Those are really cool. Yeah, love that. And then the other thing that I use religiously is my barbell. I have the Wonder Bar from French Sport, which is about, I think I want to say 30 to 50 bucks cheaper than the Rogue barbell. I've had that thing. I have two of them now. So I had the first one I've had for 7 or 8 years. Thing spins like it's brand new. The second one, I bought this 35 pounder a few months back, and they are both terrific. Like literally great barbells and so
Hmm.
much cheaper. So much
Do
cheaper.
you do your own maintenance on them, like keep them clean and
Mhm.
keep them oiled and stuff?
Yeah, I do all that, but it's in a home gym environment. They're not getting anywhere near the dirt and dust as they do in a major gym,
Yeah.
so they're going to last longer anyway. But these things are, I mean, people are going to hate hearing this, but I have drop pads, crash pads in my basement, and I am literally dropping these things from above my head with no plates on them right onto those drop pads, and they're bouncing, and these things are great. Like I put them through the ringer, and I've done that for the one for 7 or 8 years now, and it's great. Love
The
it.
coach in me is cringing so hard.
Yeah, I know, but look, they're great. Like they have, I've put them through anything they could possibly go through, and they work terrific. So those are my big three, like for things that I think people need in their home gym. If you don't want to spend quite as much, the Rogue stuff's great. I mean, none of this is a slam on Rogue. Their stuff's terrific, but I think the stuff is just as good at a better price, personally.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I love that.
yep. All right, you go. Your turn.
Okay, my next one is still kind of CrossFit adjacent, but it's like for the personality of most of us at the CrossFit gym who are very brand aligned with Yeti. Are you a Yeti fan?
I love Yeti.
I am too. We have like Matt and I have a problem. Like I think we need to go to like Yetis Anonymous because we seriously have like an entire cupboard full of them and I don't know why, but I can't stop buying them. And I'm like a Yeti snob now. Now I like won't drink out of anything that can't like cool my drink for 48 hours or whatever. But Yeti has recently come out with two really cool new like shapes for their cups.
Hmm.
One is a little guy, it's a 10-ounce guy. It's small and it's
Yeah.
intended for like cocktails or like espresso drinks. And you know that CrossFitters love both of those.
Yeah.
And then the second really cool shape they've recently come out with is a 20-ounce with a handle, but with a bottom part that like will fit in your cup holder in your
Yep.
car. Because that's the annoying part is the big one with the handle was always like way too giant for your cup holder. Um, and the new 20-ounce ones also have like a secure mag slider lid. So you
Yep.
can't just push it open. You have to push it down and push it open. It's the little things, you guys. It's the little things in life.
Well, those mag slider, I was going to say I have a couple of Yetis. Our company uses them anytime we win an award. They'll put our logo on it, and like I won one
Yeah,
the other
cool. I
day,
love that.
and they have those mag slider lids, and the mag slider just pops right off. So it's
Mm-hmm.
if you think of like a normal, quote unquote, normal travel mug, those sliders are kind of locked in place. This mag slider is held by a magnet, and you can literally pull it off. So when you wash it, the entire lid gets clean, including what's under
Mm-hmm.
that slider, which I think is really
Yeah.
cool.
And the new ones that like the slider doesn't just push open, you have to push it down and push it open,
Right.
has a second magnet on the bottom. So there's like no chance of it popping off. You have to like pull the whole thing
Right.
apart in order to, so it's super secure. So if you're brand aligned the way most CrossFitters are, I would check those out. And they always have like really cool colors for the holidays.
Cool stuff. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick with some home gym stuff for a while because I got a bunch of
Okay.
home gym
Yeah.
stuff on my
Bring it
list
on.
here. Where to start? When we go to music, so I'll tell you what I use in my home gym is Sonos makes terrific Wi-Fi speakers, and now they make portable speakers that also work on Bluetooth. So they'll work through your Wi-Fi at home, or they'll work on Bluetooth. They're rechargeable. You can carry them around with you. They have two different ones. I have the Move, so the Sonos Move. It's about $400, which is expensive, but totally worth it because they sound ridiculously good. And by the way, the only time of year they go on sale is around Black Friday, and they usually drop $100 off. So it's just good. Don't go buy
Ooh,
them right this second. Wait for the sale. That's what I did.
okay.
And now they've just made a new one, which I don't have, but I saw one the other day in Best Buy called the Sonos Roam, which is about half the size, and they're also about less than half the price, so like $179. And so they're much
Oh,
smaller, but they're rechargeable. They all sound terrific. I have a Sonos One in my basement, and then I'll take the Move down there so I'm in stereo and it's super loud. But these things are great. And
Now you're like an audio snob because you know music so well, right?
I have Sonos speakers in almost every room in this house.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
and yeah, and they sound great.
So tell me, because I'm not very well versed in this, like Sonos versus Bose.
Bose is great.
Okay.
I don't have a certain problem against Bose. It's just like everything in my house is Sonos, and it all works on an app. So like I can, like my TV is a Sonos, has three Sonos speakers attached to it. I got one in the front room, a couple upstairs. I got them in the bathroom, so like all over the place, and I can control them all by my phone, and they can all run different things at different times, which is kind of cool.
Okay. Okay.
The portable ones are nice because if like I'm going outside and building a fire, or if I'm going down in the basement and I want to carry an extra speaker with me, I've got it right there, and
Nice.
just rechargeable, which I think is very cool.
Yeah.
Yep, they're great.
I love that.
All right, your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna get into apparel. Do you have apparel on your thing too?
Very little. I have shoes, but that's it.
Okay, I'll do shoes after you do shoes then. So mine is obviously really specific because the season of life that I'm in as a new mother. Born Primitive has a new line of maternity sports bras, and they are awesome. Like, it is such a pain in the ass when you have a newborn. Basically, for the first like several months of your baby's life, you just feed them whenever they're fucking hungry, which is all the goddamn time. It's all the time. Feeding babies, full-time job. And it sucks when you're like in the gym or like running out of the gym. Like the number of times I've been like, okay, Matt, like pack your shit because I have to go feed the baby right now in the car, or like in the office, or like just in the gym under a maternity thing, or just in the gym, because at this point everyone's seen my nipples already. It doesn't even fucking matter anymore. But in a regular sports bra, to get like access to my boobs, it's fucking impossible. And any CrossFit girl will tell you that taking off a wet sports bra should be an Olympic sport. So these are wicked cool because they have adjustable straps. And this is, by the way, like they are maternity sports bras, but they will work really well for anyone with a fuller bust. And it's really hard to find sports bras for ladies with a fuller bust. So just kind of take that note. But the straps have Velcro, and you can adjust them to be as tight or as loose or completely off if you're feeding a baby. And it's like the best system I've found so far to get quick access, but also be still like super supportive. And so I highly recommend those for anyone in your life who may be a new mom and a CrossFitter, or just has a fuller bust and needs some good support.
Or anyone you just want quicker access to their fuller bust, apparently.
Yeah. If anyone just wants quick nip slips, bring it on.
Why not? I love the Born Primitive stuff. I mean, clearly I don't wear their sports bras. They sent me some stuff.
You should randomly.
Try. I know. They sent me some stuff randomly a few months ago, and at the time I didn't try it all on because it wasn't all within season. And a few weeks ago, I was like kind of looking through my stuff, and they're a pair of gray sweatpants, and I'm like, oh, I'll put these on. It's like kind of chilly out, and I am in love with these things now.
Really?
Like, they're my constant wear around the house.
No kidding. Yeah, I don't have a ton of their stuff. I don't. I have only their like event shirts. Like they made the event shirts from Granite Games a couple years ago, and I love those, but I don't have a lot of their things.
Yeah, these things are like joggers, but they're just super comfortable. They feel more like pajamas to me. Like I personally wouldn't wear them out, but it's not really my style to wear that stuff out much anyway. But yeah, they're super comfortable.
Ooh. Okay, you go.
All right, here's one that I think all CrossFitters probably need. It's called the Grip Tight 1 GP Phone Tripod by Joby. It's a mouthful. I'll tell you what's special about it, though. It's about $60. The legs on it are bendable, so you can wrap it around things, and it's magnetic, so you could stick it, as an example, to a rig. So if you're filming your lifts at the gym and you need to put it at a level other than ground height, you can stick it right on the rig, which I thought was really cool.
Ooh, so you don't need to do that embarrassing, like, hey, will you film my lift real quick?
Yep, you can wrap it around the rig. You can it has magnets on the feet, and it'll hold it up. It'll hold an iPhone or a Google, Android type phone. It was really cool. And $60, which is not, as tripods go, is not super expensive. So that's the one thing I always see is like, you're either asking somebody to film your lifts, or you're propping it up against a kettlebell, or it's propping up against a rig. And then, everyone's lifts are from the floor level and they just look dumb. So if you're going to do it, go buy a tripod, do it right.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree.
Yep. All right. Your turn.
Okay, I have like a super expensive one and then I have a super cheap one.
All
Which one I
right.
should do first?
You pick. I don't care. You go.
Okay, I'll start with the expensive one. So when I was pregnant last year and I wanted to make sure that I was still staying kind of active, even though I couldn't like go to the gym and do all the things all the time, I bought an under my desk treadmill. So like I have a standing desk and
Okay.
I wanted to be able to like walk slowly while I did mundane tasks on my computer versus just sit there. You've heard of like the desk erg or whatever, but I bought an under my desk treadmill off Amazon and I actually really, really loved it.
I
Is
think
that
we
silly?
I think we need video of this treadmill. What's it cost?
It costs $300. I just bought it off Amazon. It's called the Bifauno, Bifanuo, the Bifanuo 2-in-1 folding treadmill.
Oh my
And
Lord.
it's just like it doesn't go very fast. Like you can't run on it. And it just is like little and sleek. And for $300, it fits literally under your standing desk. And I really enjoyed it. I really
Right.
liked, if I had to like read something or just, I don't know, be on a long Zoom call, I could just kind of like walk a little
I
bit.
think we need to send a note to Tracy Bates at Assault Fitness and say we need her to make the assault desk. And
I would buy it. I would.
a little assault runner under the desk. We'll call it the assault desk. It'd be great.
Except for when you like walk on one of these things, you can like still be in a Zoom call and not embarrassingly like breathing heavy. But if you were if you were on the assault under desk, whatever, you probably would be dying during every call.
Can you imagine some corporation trying to tell HR they're buying the assault desk? I'm just trying to see how that would go over.
Oh my God, can you imagine? We need to
Oh,
rename everything instantly.
it would be ridiculous. All right, I have a cheap one. Here's a really
Okay.
cheap one, but I think a critical one. You can get this at Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, Target, anywhere. Dr.
Okay.
Teal's Epsom Salt in lavender, by the way, which is the best of the scents, but they have other scents if you want them.
Okay. For all of your sore muscles.
$5, man, for a bag of Epsom salt. It's awesome. Hot, salty baths are so good for recovery.
Do you have a tub big enough for your whole body?
I do have
Like
a
a soaking
jacuzzi.
tub?
It was part of the
Oh,
reason I bought this house. I have this huge jacuzzi in my master bath. It gets
I'm so
so hot too.
jealous.
It gets stupid hot. And I can put like half a bag of that Epsom salt in there if I wanted, but it only takes a cup. And I'm telling you, it's a monster difference when your legs are really. As a matter of fact, I should go do it tonight because I did Chad today, which is 1,000 step ups from
Oh,
home. And I'm walking funny, and I'm like, oh, I should go soak in the tub. And it makes a huge difference in your recovery. It really does. It's all in my mind. There's gonna be doctors listening to this going, well, he's full of crap. But
no, no. I fully agree because for a brief period, we were sponsored by a company that had Epsom salts. And that was like one of the only times that I like forced myself to slow down and take baths. I don't have a big bathtub. So I do the thing where either like my legs are warm or my torso is warm.
right.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? I have to
one
decide.
or the other. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I'll like sit in it and I'll wear like a crop top long sleeve shirt, but I'll like soak my legs and my butt.
No, no. See,
But
mine's
it
big
made a
enough.
huge difference.
I can lay back, and you have to like crisscross your legs, but your legs can be under, and your chest can be under, and then you're just periscoping. It's great.
Oh, I don't have that. I need that.
You
But
missed
it
the
did help.
periscope
It
joke.
always
That was
helped.
funny.
Oh, I just let it happen.
I know. It was funny though. But yeah, I think it's worth it. And it's $5. And it's a great gift idea. And they have multiple oils that go in these. So lavender is the one I like because I just, it's like a really relaxing, like get you ready for sleep. But they also have
Yeah.
eucalyptus and they got charcoal and all these different ones. And they're great. $5, man. Can't beat it.
I love it.
All right, you're up.
Okay, I'll give you my super cheap one.
Okay.
So I was inspired actually when we did the Talking Elite Fitness podcast the other day, and one of Tommy's picks for like best person in the gym was a person who brings a coach coffee. That inspired me to be like, I feel like probably the best gift for the CrossFitter, is like a gift card to your local coffee house or something along those lines, because we all love coffee. But then on top of that, I highly recommend this tiny little contraption called the Java sock.
What is this?
So it's a neoprene sleeve that you put around your iced coffee. They cost like just a few bucks and they have a bazillion different designs and sizes. But if you're like me and you drink iced coffee all year round, it's like the greatest stupid little invention. And it stops your cup from sweating and like getting your hands wet and your cup holders wet. And it keeps your coffee. It's like the disposable cup Yeti version of keeping your coffee cold.
See, I had coffee on my list.
You did?
Yeah. Well, so I had two things. I had the Chemex pour over you can get for about $50 or less. You can actually get less than that on Amazon.
Is it worth it? Tell me.
Yeah. Well, so I have all the coffee makers here. I have the cappuccino, I have the espresso machine. I have a coffee maker, like, kind of a traditional coffee maker, and then the pour over. Pour over is great. Like if you're willing to stand there and do it, but you need the second thing that I had on the list with it is a gooseneck electric tea kettle, which of these two, if you're going to pick, the electric tea kettle is clutch because you can also make hot tea at night before you go to bed. And again, if you're focused on recovery, like sleepy time tea, decaf tea, chamomile, like anything to get you ready for bedtime is spectacular. And having an electric tea kettle makes it infinitely easier.
Yeah.
And we use it for everything. I mean, my girls use it. I use it, like, make soups with it. Like there's so many applications you can use it for. But for me, I use it mostly for recovery purposes for teas and coffees. It's great.
You're so right, because we just recently got one. So actually my mom brought one to my house because she's like low key half living with me and helping with the baby, which is amazing to have extra hands. And also I'm now living with my mother. So that's its own set of problems. But she brought it when she because she stays here a few days a week, and Matt and I both looked at each other and we were like, can't you just boil water? And didn't understand. But then we started using it so much faster. So then we started using it every night, and we have sleepy time chamomile tea like every night as part of our bedtime routine. And bonus, we can warm bottles in it.
Yep. There's so many things you can do with it.
Yeah.
The gooseneck is nice if you're doing a pour over coffee like this. And the benefit, I think, to a pour over coffee, like I don't personally find it infinitely better than my machine, and it's certainly not better than the espresso maker. But what is good about it, if you're trying to limit your coffee intake, it kind of forces that because it's a glass container. So you have to drink what you make. And, it's an 8-cup usually, it's not that big. So if you're making, it'll make, 2 decent sized cups if there's 2 of you, so if you're trying to limit yourself to 1.5, cups of coffee, it's a good way to go to do that. Okay. And I do that sometimes when I'm like, I don't want to make a full pot, but I still want it to be really good coffee. Pour over is a great way to go. And between the two, it's like $100 for the two, $60 for the tea kettle, 45 bucks for the glass coffee maker.
Well, so that makes a really nice gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I'm a cold brew snob. That's my thing.
Oh, well, say I never make cold brew ever.
I usually buy it, but I've tried to make it and I'm terrible at it. But there are some cold brew beans that are better than others.
Well, there's a lot of great I've had cold brew sent to me that I really liked, but I've never been dedicated enough to make it myself. It's just not my thing.
I get it. I usually buy from the grocery store. It's called Stok, STOK. And there's several versions, but the blue label, the unsweetened one, that's where it's at. Highly recommend.
You know who sent me really good was Verve Coffee is out of Santa Cruz.
Yep.
I've done some shout out for somebody and they got all butthurt and they're like, no, our coffee's better. So take our coffee. And they send me a bunch of coffee beans and some cold brew. And I'm like, I'm never going to drink this. So one day I was late for the gym and I grabbed one. I'm like, all right, this is delicious. And this is great. And I was totally wired. It was perfect.
Totally. Yep. I've made cold brew with the caffeine in kilos beans, and that's pretty good too.
Yeah, they're good. They're very good. All right, next up, what else you got?
Did I go or did you go? Why don't you start the shoe train and then I'll hop on the end?
Oh, I'm still on food. I still got food stuff in here.
Oh, there's still more food stuff? I don't have more food stuff.
I had one other thing that I thought was really cool. It was CrossFit adjacent. You can get this on Amazon. They make a food scale that gives you nutrition facts on the scale. So
I've seen that. Yeah.
Right? And it's very cool. It's like a little digital, it's like a color, screen on the right-hand side of the scale. And like say you're weighing an avocado, you tell it avocado and you put the avocado on and it weighs it and tells you what the nutrition facts are. And I think it stores like 2,000 or 3,000 different food items that, you would be cutting and weighing, meats and vegetables and things like that. And I thought that was
Not
really
Big
cool.
Macs.
Yeah, not Big Macs, but it's less than $40. It's like 37, $38. And CrossFitters tend to be notoriously anal retentive about tracking and all that crazy stuff. And I thought, all right, it's kind of cool if you got someone in your life. Now I will say out loud though, dudes, do not go buy this for your wife unless you're 100% convinced she wants it. And let me give you some testimony here. I got a brother-in-law that bought my sister a vacuum cleaner for their anniversary one year. And trust me, like that's a mistake you can't walk back from. Like, don't be buying people appliances, and certainly don't buy people scales unless they have asked for it, or you're going to find yourself in a bad place.
That is some sound advice. Oh, very excellent advice.
Seriously. Start with Nikki's jewelry and then come in with this after Christmas, maybe, unless you're positive they want it. That's
Yep. You know what? Let me follow that up with another jewelry item that you could get for a gift for a lady that's better than a food scale, less offensive than a food scale, I would say. I know we all have silicone rings. They've been around for a while. It's a good option if you want to wear your ring while you're in the gym, or if you have like a high impact job. There's a bunch of companies that make them now. My favorite company is called Enso. ENSO. Did you hear that? Did you hear that notification? I have them turned off.
No,
you can't hear them?
No, but now now I'm going to pretend it did. Yes, turn your notifications off, Nikki.
Jeez. No.
I didn't hear it at all. Anyway, what's the ring? Enso?
Enso, ENSO. So it's like the same. It's basically the same as every other like Kilo ring and whatever that we've all been wearing for a while now, but it has little scores on the inside, because for me in the wintertime, I always get water and moisture and now hand sanitizer like stuck under my rings. And I get what I love to call ring rot. Right. It's basically diaper rash. It's just like from wet skin under your ring. But those Enso rings, because they're like scored and have a little bit of like space underneath them, they never get wet or rotty underneath. So I like those a lot. Those are cool.
Yeah. They now make those, Qualo, is that what they're called? Those
Halo.
They're wearables though, the technology rings.
Oh, the Aura rings.
Aura. Yeah, there you go. That's what.
Yeah. I'm like low-key thinking about getting one of those for Matt for Christmas. He doesn't listen to this podcast, so that's fine.
Well, I had wearables on my list, but I wasn't going to give a recommendation to any because I've had them all except for that ring, but I've heard good things about them. They kind of all do different things. My opinion on all the wearables is like, you can't really go wrong getting one for someone, but you need to make sure they're going to meet their kind of what their individual goals are. Like these Whoops that, the Whoop that I'm wearing. And by the way, my 4.0 came today.
When is mine going to come in?
I don't know. But it's no different than the 3.0, to be honest. It doesn't seem different. It's a little smaller, but yeah, it's like, but I've also got an Apple Watch and that's great. And I've heard great things about the ring, and they kind of all track different things. So I think you just had to figure out, if you're going to buy one for somebody, you have to figure out, what do they value? For me, I value not recharging a lot, which is why the Whoop works. And I don't really care about steps. And I also don't wear a watch very often. So for me, the Whoop is like, all right, well, the Whoop makes sense. It's not very expensive and it'll track most of the stuff I want to track.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard the Aura ring is best for tracking sleep because it's like so incredibly sensitive. Right. And I considered it for myself a while ago when we were trying to conceive, because it measures like basal body temperature. And that's one of the markers of like ovulation and stuff. So that was why I looked into it. And it's one of the only ones that does that as far as wearables go. They look really cool. Yeah. I
mean, technically you could wear them all. I mean, you could track all the stuff you wanted. I know plenty of people wear a Whoop on one arm and an Apple Watch on the other and a ring on their finger. Like you can, it'll do it all if you want. I don't have a need for it, but I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. But the ring seems cool was kind of the point.
Yeah, it does. So it totally does. Wearables are always a good gift. You're right.
Well, they are and they aren't. I mean, I like the Whoop, but I also hate the Whoop. You know what I mean by that? Like,
No, why?
Yeah, it's like because it nags me. It's like I get up in the morning
Oh.
and it's like, oh, John, your sleep was shitty last night. You need to make sure you're in bed tonight at 9:30. And it's at this point, it's 7:30 in the morning. And I'm like, bro, I haven't even had my coffee yet. Quit nagging me about my sleep tonight. Like, what is going on here? And
Oh.
yeah. And then even worse, if I forget to tell it I'm exercising, I'll be about 20 minutes in and it's like, oh, it looks like you might be exercising. We're going to turn on now. I'm like, I'm 20 minutes in. My heart rate's at 160. You think I'm exercising? Like, what's going on?
Halfway to dead.
I know. It's just, but it's fine. Like, it's fine. It keeps a long battery life, which is what I love about it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
5 days. I charge it about every 5 days, which is great. And I don't even have to take it off to do that. So,
Oh, right. Yeah. Do you wear it in the shower?
no, because I don't want it to dry on my arm. Like that's about the only time I take it off. But now I'm so connected to it. If I forget to put it back on, which has happened like twice since I've had it, it drives me insane. It's like being without your phone because you know you're missing out on data, you know?
Yep.
And I'm a nerd. I love having data. So
totally.
yeah, it's just funny. All right. Next up, what else you got?
Okay. Well, I can start the footwear train.
All right, let's do
it. So this was actually not the footwear that I was going to originally put on this, but then this just came out and I'm like obsessed with it. There's a new, and you're going to laugh at me because they're all the same. I know, but there's a new colorway of Nobles.
What?
That I know. They look so sick. They do. I'm not allowed to buy shoes in this house because I inevitably get a bunch of shoes throughout the year when I work events.
Right.
So I'm forbidden from purchasing footwear. But if I was going to, I would totally buy these new White Heather and Dusty Rose trainers from Noble. They just look so nice. They look so cool. It's like a gray heather top and like a pale pink sole, and I'm all about them.
I'm sure they look totally different than all of the others. I'm sure.
Color-wise, they do. Okay. Color-wise, they look way different. And I personally love the trainers for like everything. I wear them in most workouts. Short runs don't bother me in them, and I wear them casually too. So for me, it's worth it as a shoe.
Well, I clearly don't have Noble shoes on there, but I was asking a friend, I'm like, hey, I need advice for my list. And they're like, hey, Noble socks are ridiculously good. And I'm like,
they are awesome.
I did not know that. So this is not my recommendation, but I hear they're awesome.
They're good. So, they're good. I recommend them.
What makes them great? I was curious though. I didn't get that detail.
So they're like thick. They're like thicker socks, but they don't make your feet sweat the way that you would think that thick socks do. So like they're thick and cushy, but they're not heat inducing. I don't know.
Just like me.
Yeah. Hey, thick and cushy. You are heat inducing though.
Yeah, I'm a little heat inducing. Well, you know me about shoes. I'm all innovate all the time. I'm all about the new 260s that Scott Panchik made.
Okay, those were actually on my list too.
They're so good. Did Matt get a pair?
I got him a pair, so I can't attest personally because I've never worn them. But Matt, I bought him a pair a couple of weeks ago, and he hasn't taken them off.
Well, I love them. Matter of fact, I'm wearing them right this second.
Ooh.
But I wear them everywhere. They're like kind of my around town shoe. I work out in them. Of all their shoes, they're the ones that aren't completely flat. Like they're get a little bit of the heel, a little bit of an arch, but they're flat enough for CrossFit stuff. They're good for squatting, good for running, good for rope climbs. Like, to kind of they seem like they were made by Scott because they cover all the bases. I have a code now. If you type in scale at their website, you save 10%. So
hi, where the fuck was this code when I bought these from Matt?
I just got it. I just got it. Like just today, I verified that it works. So very excited about this. I've been waiting for one forever because I've got people messaging me all the time going, tell me about these shoes. I had no way to prove people were buying them because I was telling them to. So now I will know, but I love these things. I also love the 245s and the 300s are terrific shoes. I wear those all the time too. But the 260s I'm in love with right now. Like I think they're the best CrossFit shoe. So
that's
good.
Awesome. Yeah, Matt loves them too. He can attest.
Yep. Good stuff.
What other shoes do you have on the list?
Those are the only shoes I had on the list as it stands. I mean, you know me, I own all the shoes. I did the Innovate lifters are great too. the fast lift lifters.
Really?
They're so good. Matter of fact, I was talking to Ben about this the other day that, I have been addicted to the Nike Romalos for, I don't know, 7 years now. Like whenever I bought my
Yep.
first pair, and the Romalo 2s, the original, like the kind of the OG of lifters. And I've never been able to find a shoe I liked as well. And I like these as well, like same kind of wide toe box. The heel is just about the same height. Like every time I find a pair of lifters, I feel like the heel is either way too high or way too low.
Yeah, I agree.
And these are kind of that perfect height for me. And yeah, I love them. I absolutely love them. And the colors are really cool. I have a red, white, and blue pair. So they're
Ooh.
very fancy.
I had Innovate lifters like 7 years ago, maybe 8 years
Right.
ago, when Innovate had a cross-branded lifter with Again Faster.
Mm-hmm.
I had a pair of those a million years ago and loved them. I tore them up. I wore them so much.
Well, I think they've stepped up their game recently when it comes to lifters, and I love these things, man. I really
Yeah.
do. And I'm like, I realize I get them for free, so everybody's probably rolling their eyes, but I'm telling you, like, I'm a snob when it comes to shoes. And if I did not like these things, I would not wear them. And trust me when I tell you, I've been sent plenty of shoes that got worn one time and then went back in the
Yeah.
boxer and were given away.
Yeah.
Like, and these are not that way. These get worn. These are in my basement right next to the barbell. Like I wear them all the time.
I love that.
Here's another fun thing. Actually, something else I got sent this year, but I use a lot, and it's in my basement. The Tiny Timer, which is branded by James Newberry, so it's very CrossFit
Yeah.
centric. Now you can get similar things on Amazon for a little less, but I got to support my boy James, who I love. Is just the nicest human on the planet. And his is great because it's also magnetic, and you can stick it to a rig, which in a home gym is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's rechargeable. But it's just like this tiny little CrossFit timer that'll do AMRAPs and Tabatas and all the things, and for time and all the things you want it to do. And it's portable, and it's like, I don't know, I want to say it's like maybe 8 inches across. Like it's not very big. And depending on who you ask. And yeah,
Yeah.
you can just carry it around with you, stick it in your gym bag if you want to take it to the gym on an open gym and not have to, arm wrestle the coach over the using the timer, or if you have it at home like I do, it's great.
I love that.
Yeah. And his is like, if I remember right, I want to say it's like 130, 140 bucks for that one. And it comes with a little tripod. Like his comes with a tripod and it's magnetic. So it's a little different. If you want it, you could get a cheaper version. And I forget the brand name, but there's like a Chinese version on Amazon for closer to $100. It's basically does all the same things, but it's not magnetic and it's not rechargeable. You have to actually plug it in. And I've had one of those originally in the basement. So you have options, but usually between 100 to 140 bucks, you can get, your own timer. I think that's a cool idea for people.
I have one more thing on my list, and I know you definitely don't have it on your list, but it's a product, like a makeup-y product.
Oh, how do you know it's not on my list?
I mean, your skin is great.
It
So
is. I have nice skin.
there's a
And I have 2
chance.
daughters. I could have makeup on there.
It's true. It's true. I have one product that I highly recommend for all the women in your life, truly, but especially the ones that are in the gym and maybe aren't like doing full face of makeup every single day, but want to just, I don't know, even out the skin tone a little bit, look a little bit nice, whatever. It's a BB cream from Tarte and it's tinted and it has really nice full coverage for just a tinted BB cream, but it is also a primer. So you can wear it under your makeup if you want, or you can wear it solo because it has really nice coverage. And it is also SPF 30 sunscreen. So this was like my favorite discovery during the COVID times when I basically like stopped leaving the house and wearing makeup completely, but I still wanted to, my skin is just super uneven. So I just still wanted to look like relatively put together. So it's called BB Tinted Treatment from Tarte. And
What
it's
does
all the
skin
things.
uneven mean? I don't even know what that means.
Like, I don't know, like, it's hard to explain, I guess, but like if you are wearing makeup, you just look kind of flawless. And if you're not wearing makeup, then and you look like and you have skin like mine, then there's just like pockets that like aren't the same shade, or like the dark circles under my eyes
Okay.
are
I know what
more
that means.
visible. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just splotchy or whatever. Maybe you can see blemishes. I don't know.
Yeah.
And this
Where were
just
you this
totally
morning?
evens it out.
I was doing a video, like the little thing for O2 shouting out a veterans group, and I did the video, and I'm like, oh, my skin looks really blotchy. I wish I had a solution for that. And now I know. You should have been
There,
here to do my makeup.
that's what you should have put on. It would
I
have been
know.
perfect for you.
It would have been.
Also, last note is it feels really nice. It's like super silky. So it's called BB Tinted Treatment by Tarte. And it's, like I said, during COVID, when I basically stopped wearing makeup and leaving my house, it was the one layer I would put on. And I just felt like it was really nice when I was at the gym. Like I wouldn't sweat it off. It would just kind of stay, which was really nice. And so that's, if you're a product person like I am, that's my favorite one. I highly recommend.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have 2 solutions for hand problems.
Ooh, bring it on.
The first one is lifting tape, like that sticky, like you put around your thumbs.
Yup. Which is your favorite?
Lift RX. You can get it on Amazon for like $14.
Okay.
And it's great. It's really great. And in multiple colors, green, blue, white, black, obviously it's the main color. I think that's huge to have, particularly if you're doing snatches and cleans and whatever.
Can I interject? My favorite lifting tape is called Grip Tight Tape, and it's Christian Lucero's company. So if you want to support another CrossFitter / weightlifter,
there you go.
I like that one a lot.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is for hand tears called Rip Fix. And I've been using Rip Fix for, oh gosh, it'd be 7 or 8 years, way before the world found me funny. They were on Twitter or something or somewhere, probably Facebook even, and they had some contest, and we're like, oh, best caption for this photo wins. And yeah, and that's my wheelhouse, man. I didn't even know it at the time that was my wheelhouse. And so I gave them a caption and I won, and they sent me some Rip Fix, and I started using it. And this stuff is like a miracle cream, man. It's, it's basically like petroleum jelly and, vitamin E or whatever they put in it. But anytime I would rip my palm or, my hands, I would put it on and I'd be healed up in a day or two. And it was great. And it's like $15. It's not very expensive. And I think I've talked to them since then. Once they realized that was a big deal, they sent me more. And now I just have a ton of this stuff around the house and I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Great stuff. And they're like a small company. They've been around CrossFit for a long time. So I love them. Yep. What else? What else do you have?
That was my whole list. What else do you have?
The only thing I have left, because this is kettlebells and cocktails, is I think the 2 most CrossFit adjacent cocktail brands out right now are you need a tequila and a vodka. And Terramana, made by The Rock.
Yes.
Right now, is so good.
So good. So good.
So if you like tequila, and it's not even that strong, it's not like strong like tequila normally is. Yeah, it's smooth. Very smooth. More like a vodka.
Yeah, we love it in this house. Terramana silver and the margarita bar juice that you can get at Whole Foods. Mm-hmm. That's like friggin' $10 a bottle, but it's so worth it. That is our jam. So good.
I'm on my way. And then of course Tito's. I mean, gluten-free, gotta have it. And they're both moderately inexpensive when they come to, if you want to give a CrossFit in your life a bottle of booze for Christmas, I think they're both the way to go.
Yeah, totally.
Those are
what are you drinking about tonight? I should have asked you earlier.
Terramana.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, with soda.
Terramana nice. Soda. I'm on the dark beer train still. Left hand nitro stout.
Ooh, look at you. That's good stuff.
It's good for milk production, supposedly.
Is it?
Here I am. Dark beer, I guess. I mean, I don't know if it's an old wives' tale or not, but I'll do anything to help.
Man.
Keep it up, man. Keep it up.
Little man's gonna have a beer belly. Good for him.
I know, right? I can have like half of one of the like huge things a night.
He's gonna start looking like Homer Simpson. It's gonna be awesome.
Speaking of, do you want a baby story real quick?
Of course I want a baby story. I love baby stories.
So before we got on, I texted you. I was like, I'll be on in just a minute because I gotta hand the baby off, right? So I handed the baby off to Matt, and he just texted me, and he said, I'd like to quote unquote thank your listeners for taking you away from the baby just in time for me to have to deal with a hot lava shit from his back down to his ankles.
Oh, I do not
So
miss
apparently
those days.
that's what's waiting for me when we log off of the show.
Mm. I miss that, but I don't miss that. My girls are all grown up now. They're like women. And so, they're obviously not shitting themselves to my knowledge.
I hope
I
not.
mean, maybe they are. I don't know. I haven't asked lately. I'll ask when I pick up Mira, but yeah, I kind of miss those days. I miss the little baby days. We got to get together so I can see baby Hunter and get my baby fix on.
Well, just move to Rhode
I
Island.
know. I gotta get up there somehow. What
Mm-hmm.
I need to happen is a company trip to Boston that doesn't happen in 24 hours like my last one. Like I need one
I
where we'll be there for
know.
a few days and I'll like actually stay over for the weekend and come up and visit.
Yeah. Come down. Let's do it.
Well, we usually have one, if I remember right, assuming we're going to be back in person, which is really sketchy these days.
Mm-hmm.
We usually do them in the first quarter. So it could, if it happens, it'd be January, February. So I'll let you know, though I plan to see at Wadapalooza. So
I know. Wasn't your work trip like Wadapalooza weekend last year too?
that was 2 years ago, and I was patient zero for coronavirus.
Right, totally.
I'm positive. I'm positive I had it. Positive.
I'm
I was.
sure.
Yeah, I was miserable, like crazy raging fever and a cough from hell forever. And I
Mm.
was traveling on airplanes. And this is before anybody was wearing masks. So nobody bitched me out for this. Literally
Mm-hmm.
called my boss and I'm like, dude, I am dying. He's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. See you in Boston tomorrow. And like he put me in a plane and made me come. Like that's the way, that's the way business was done then. Now, if that happened, they'd be like, you can't come back to work for 14 days and you have to take 3 tests and an anal swab before, like,
Yup. We don't actually even want you back. You're all set.
yeah, we're just going to pay you until you eventually leave. Like,
Mm-hmm.
swear to God,
Yep.
it's such a different world now in
I
that regard.
know. I know. It's so weird. And I like, every generation is faced with its own challenges. And I'm like sitting here being so grateful and thankful that like I can work from home and I'm trying to, manage this newborn and still at home and the ease of Zoom meetings and figuring out how to still get my job done is like so prevalent. And I feel very lucky for that because, my mom had to go back to work after having 2 kids like 3 weeks, 6 weeks later, whatever. But at the same time, I'm like, also, I have to worry about my child in a goddamn pandemic. So
Well,
I don't know. I don't know which one is better than the other.
it's like, the pluses that have come out of the pandemic, if there are many, there are some, is that, I think most corporations and businesses have, at least are more cognizant of not letting people work sick, which is
Right.
great. But now everyone, like, I'm hyper focused on it. I was on an airplane flying back from Dallas. I don't know if I told you this. I was telling somebody this.
What?
And we're all in masks because you're in an airplane and they're crazy about it. Like you can't even pull that thing down like at all. And the guy sitting next to me, I'm in the middle seat, which I don't like to begin with. I am not a middle seat guy. I'm an aisle guy. Put me on the aisle. This plane
Okay.
was sold out. So this guy's next to me and there's some woman on the other side of me. And for about the first hour, because it was like a 2.5 hour flight, I noticed he's going,
No.
yes.
No.
So, and this happens like every, I don't know, like minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So he's like snorting though. So I'm like, oh, this MFer is sick. And then about an hour in, he starts blowing his nose.
No.
And like, I'm not a germ phobe, like not at all. And I go most places without a mask these days. I've got the jab, I've had it done. And so I'm not, and I'm pretty healthy, so I don't worry about it. But in this case, dude is clearly has a cold. And I'm like, thank God for masks, because I don't want to catch what this guy's got. But he's sitting there sneezing and blowing his nose. And it was occurring to me in that moment, like, a couple of years ago, you wouldn't have blinked at that. You know what I mean? Like it would have
You're
been
so
gross.
right.
It would have been gross, but you wouldn't have like sat there and obsessed about it. And I sat there and
Nope.
obsessed about it for 2 hours.
You're totally right. You are totally right. I mean, try having a freaking newborn. I obsess
Yeah.
about like and Matt tells me that all the time. He's like, Nikki, like in years past, you never would have worried about X, Y, or Z. I'm like, I know, but now I am. Oh.
I know. It's I get that's the unfortunate side. I said, no, I think everything becomes, I had kind of hay fever the other day because the temperatures are changing here like every 30
Yeah,
seconds.
totally.
And all of a sudden, like my nose has stopped up. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm going to die soon. It's like
Yeah,
that's where your mind goes immediately because you're conditioned from listening to the news and, reading news
exactly.
articles about all the horrible things happening to people. And, like
Yeah,
I know I'm healthy, like I'm fit, like, I don't
I
worry about
know.
it,
I
but
know.
still it's, just kind of where your mind goes now. It's just such a different place. So
Oh, totally. I know.
you'll get past that eventually with the baby.
Yeah.
Truthfully, like, because it's probably no different with your first kid, Nikki, but at least with mine, anywhere Mira would go, I would go anywhere. Anything she'd look at, I'm right there next to her. With Megan, it's like, here, take these knives and go juggle them, Meg. You'll be fine. Just leave me alone.
Uh-huh.
It's like by your second kid, they're fine. Go play with the stove. What could go wrong? It'll be
Yeah,
go boil some water, Meg. It'll be fine. I know you're two.
totally
You know,
fine.
yeah. What could go wrong? So you may just be having first baby jitters, but there is some of that too that you worry about every little thing from a illness standpoint.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to like getting over that new mom craziness because he's already like less fragile. You know what I mean? He's already like pretty good at holding his head up and we can like pass him off much easier than we once could. And so like I'm feeling a lot better in that respect. But the other stuff, I'm very much looking forward to when I can just feel like I can relax a little bit more.
Wait till your first emergency room visit.
No, no, it'll never happen to me, right?
Okay. I said that, and I've been a couple of times, and it is not fun. It is not fun. I remember going one time and coming home and looking for any alcohol in the house because my hands were shaking so bad. Like I knew I wouldn't get to sleep otherwise.
Oh God, I'm not looking forward to that. If they're anything like Matt was growing up, then there'll be sprains and breaks and this and that. So
They're always
great.
doing crazy stuff as kids. Like, that's the joy of parenthood. It's the best part. All the best parts.
Oh, glad.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's all right. I'll walk you guys through every step for the next 20 years. It'll be fine.
Perfect. That's why we need you here. I'm telling you, just move here.
Hey, it could happen. You never know. And then we
Ready.
could build ourselves a set to rival Talking Elite Fitness.
And we could take more than one photo together every year over year.
This thing's been going on for almost 3 years now. We have 2 photos together.
We're so good at this.
I know we have less than 1 photo per year, and it's a selfie that was taken in a bar. That's what's even worse.
Do you remember one time when I was like, we have no photos together and I wanted to make like a caricature of both of us together to be like a third photo that we have? And you were like, this isn't funny, Nikki. I was like, oh.
Well, all right. So here's the good news. If there is any good news in this, by Wadapalooza, I'll actually have a photographer at that event. So we'll get actual photos taken, assuming we both get there.
Perfect. I'm into that.
All right. Well, I hope everyone loved the gift list. I liked it. For those looking for all the links in the show notes, it's not going to happen. So you're going to listen to the episode and take notes.
Take notes. We should have said that in the beginning.
Yeah, I said where all my shit came from. So you can go look it up like I did. If I had to work for it, you got to work for it. That's what's beautiful. This is not Talking Elite Fitness. You're on your own. So.
We are not a professional show.
Exactly. So, all right. We'll go clean up the lava poop.
Going.
And tell Matt he's welcome.
Well, yep, we'll do.
All right. For everyone listening, appreciate you guys joining us, and we will chat with you guys soon.